Top 10 Things You Didn't Know About Togo. Hello Explorers, welcome to another informative video presented to you by Explore, and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall explore 10 things you didn't know about the beautiful country of Togo. Togo, officially the Togolese Republic, is a country in West Africa bordered by Ghana to the west, Benin to the east, and Burkina Faso to the north. The country extends south to the Gulf of Guinea, where its capital, Lomé, is located. Togo covers over 57,000 square kilometers, making it one of the smallest countries in Africa, with a population of approximately 7.9 million, as well as one of the narrowest countries in the world with a width of less than 115 kilometers between Ghana and its slightly larger eastern neighbor, Benin. Togo is a tropical sub-Saharan nation whose economy depends highly on agriculture, with a climate that provides good growing seasons. Togo is a member of the United Nations, African Union, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, South Atlantic Peace and Cooperation Zone, Francophone and Economic Community of West African States. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Togo might be one of the most hidden countries in Africa, and much is not known about the petite in our country. Hence, here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Togo. Number 1. Togo was known as a slave coast. Between the 11th and 16th centuries, various tribes such as those from Ghana and Nigeria entered the region, with most settling in the coastal areas. For the next 200 years, the coast became a major center for European slave trade and earned Togo and the nearby areas the reputation as a slave coast. The Mina from Ghana were the most victimized by the slave trade. Number 2. Togo had one of the longest sitting dictators in modern history. After World War I, rule over Togo was transferred to France but gained its independence from France in 1960. Slyvanus Olympio brought independence to Togo as Prime Minister and then President. Soldiers working for Sergeant Etienne Eyadéma Gnassingbe later assassinated him in a military coup on January 13, 1963. After the assassination, the head of the Insurrection Committee, Emmanuel Bodjollé, appointed Nicolas Grunitzky president. However, 4 years later, Grunitzky was overthrown in a non-violent coup by Eyadéma Gnassingbe. Eyadéma, Africa's longest-sitting dictator, then ruled as president for 38 years until his death on February 5, 2005. In 1993, during his reign, the European Union cut off aid due to human rights concerns. Number 3. Ghana originated from former Togoland. In 1884, Germany signed a treaty at Togoville under the King Mlapa III, which declared Togoland a protectorate that stretched from the coast inland. This became the German colony of Togoland in 1905. After Germany was defeated in World War I, Britain and France administered Togoland as two League of Nations mandates. The mandates became UN Trust territories after World War II. British Togoland joined the Gold Coast, which in 1957 became the independent nation of Ghana. In 1959, French Togoland became an autonomous republic of the French Union until its independence in 1960. Number 4. The political system of Togo is disturbing. After Eyadéma Gnassingbe's death in 2005, his son Faure Gnassingbe was installed by the military as president, but this led to an international outcry. However, France, Abdoulaye Wade of Senegal, Olusegun Obasanjo of Nigeria, and other selected African leaders were supportive of the move, which led to opposition within the African Union. Faure Gnassingbe responded by stepping down but calling for elections 2 months later. While he won the elections, there were claims by the opposition of election fraud. Violence followed as a result of the elections, with more than 400 people being killed, as an estimated 40,000 people fleeing to nearby countries. The country's reputation was again shaky in the international community, as its promises in 2004 to the European Union to establish democracy seemed to be in doubt. Number 5. Togo's economy has been greatly affected by its political strife. Togo's economy is small and depends largely on subsistence and commercial agriculture. When harvests are normal, Togo is self-sufficient for basic food goods, with only occasional regional supply difficulties. Phosphate mining used to be the primary industrial activity, but due to increased foreign competition and the collapse of world phosphate prices, Togo has been relying more on exports of cement and clinker to nearby countries. The economic reforms and foreign investment supported by the government, World Bank and IMF have stalled. Several setbacks in the early 1990s, such as strikes and political unrest, hurt economic growth by shrinking the tax base and disrupting the economy. The devaluation of the currency in 1994 allowed structural adjustments, which were brought about by political stability returning. The regime depends on the armed forces to maintain its power. However, a possible downsize and increased openness in government may be necessary for progress to continue. Number 6. Togo is one of the few African countries in which both Christianity and Muslim are both minority religions. Of the 40 ethnic groups in Togo, the main groups are the Kapie in the north, which account for 22% of the population. Then Chamba and Kotokoli in the center are the largest group. The Iwe in the south account for 46% of Togo. The Iwe make up 21% of the population on the southern coast, and some consider the Wachi as a subgroup of the Iwe, while the French government considers them separate and divided the Iwe and Wachi in 1955. Another 8% are made up of the Mosi, Mina, and the Aji groups, and the remaining 1% are Europeans who are there for economic reasons or act as diplomats. The largest religious group consists of those with indigenous beliefs, and there are significant Christian and Muslim minorities. 29% of the population is Christian and 20% is Muslim. However, despite these influences over half of the population, 51% practice indigenous beliefs and native animistic practices. Number 7. Half of Togo lives below the poverty line. Economics play a role in the health of the population, with roughly half living below the international poverty line and the health expenditure at 8% of the GDP. According to 2014 figures, the infant mortality rate is at 4 to 6.73 deaths per 1,000 live births, and life expectancy at birth is 53.34 for males and 66.71 for females. These issues are all a derivative of the political instability of the country, as years of practically low economic activities, fighting, has led to such a poor state of the country. Even the education system in Togo has struggled with teacher shortages, lower quality in rural areas, and high dropout rates and grade repetition, all caused by the insurgents of the country. Number 8. 2 of Togo's indigenous languages are nationally official. Togo is a multilingual country, and according to ethnologists, 39 distinct languages are spoken in the country, many of them by communities that number fewer than 100,000 members. Of the 39 languages, the sole official language is French. 2 spoken indigenous languages, Iwe and Kabie, which are the 2 most spoken languages, are designated politically as national languages in 1975. French is used in formal education, legislature, all forms of media, administration, and commerce. Iwe is a language of wider communication in the south. Term functions to a limited extent as a trade language in some northern towns. Officially, Iwe and Kabie are national languages, which in the Togolese context means languages that are promoted in formal education and used in the media. Number 9. Togo's cultural heritage is very rare and rich. With over 40 ethnic groups and foreign influence, Togo is a melange of numerous cultural blessings and intricacies. Culture and indigenous beliefs are displayed through artwork such as statuary, wood carvings, and hunting trophies, rather than the more common African masks. The famous statuettes of the Iwe are created for the worship of the Ibeji. Another prominent example is the chains of marriage, wood carving from the artisanal center of Kloto, which uses only one piece of wood to show 2 characters connected through rings. They also use dyed fabric batiks to create colorful stylized depictions of the average day of their ancestors. Also, famous are the ceremonial loincloths of the weavers of Asanhun. The windswept arid lands inspire painter Soke Edo. Finally, one can see the pyro engraving Zota plastic works for internationally recognized technician Paul Ai in the capital city of Lome. Number 10. Togo is not free. Togo was labeled not free by Freedom House from 1972 to 1998 and again from 2002 to 2006, and has been categorized as partly free from 1999 to 2001 and again from 2007 to the present. It has very serious and long-standing human rights problems, and according to a US State Department report based on conditions in 2010, the long list includes security force use of excessive force, including torture, which resulted in death and injuries, official impunity, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, arbitrary arrest and detention, lengthy pretrial detention, executive influence over the judiciary, infringement of citizens' private rights, restrictions on freedom of the press, assembly and movement, official corruption, discrimination and violence against women, child abuse, including female genital mutilation and sexual exploitation of children, ethnic discrimination, trafficking in persons, especially women and children, societal discrimination against persons with disabilities, societal discrimination against persons with HIV, and forced labor, including children. There you have it, explorers. Those were 10 things you probably didn't know about Togo. Thanks for watching this video, and if you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.